Welcome to this video explainer in which EURACTIV details everything you need to know about the French presidential election, another pivotal vote in the EU after Germany last September. Every 5 years, the French go to the polls to choose the President of the Republic. Unlike in most other EU countries, the French President wields much wider powers, almost comparable to that of the US President. The President can dissolve the Assemblée Nationale to provoke new political elections, nominate the Prime Minister and the government, and actually runs the government's policies most of the time. The presidential mandate can be renewed only once, and almost 48 million people are eligible to vote. The rules for being a candidate in the presidential election are not particularly demanding, since it is sufficient to be at least 18 years old, to be of French nationality, and to have full civic rights. Where it gets more complicated is when the candidates need to collect 500 signatures from local and national elected representatives, notably from mayors. Out of the 42,000 of them, this year a little more than 13,000 submitted such a signature. This rule allows avoiding too many candidates, but has been criticized lately because of the difficulty of independent or more extreme candidates to collect those endorsements. The Constitutional Council validates the official list of candidates. This year there are 12 candidates who can run in the race for the Élysée. In the national, sovereignist and populist bloc, there will be 3 candidates: Marine Le Pen, Éric Zemmour and Nicolas Dupont-Aignan. Valérie Pécresse is the only candidate nominated by the traditional right. Outgoing President Emmanuel Macron is classified as centrist and is supported by personalities from both the right and the left. On the center-left, socialist Anne Hidalgo and ecologist Yannick Jadot are the candidates. On the radical left and the far left, Fabien Roussel, a communist, and Jean-Luc Mélenchon will run. Nathalie Arthaud and Philippe Poutou will represent the anti-capitalist left. And the only independent candidate will be Jean Lassalle. Overall, the latest opinion polls give the most chance by far to Macron, with Le Pen, Zemmour, and maybe Pécresse and Mélenchon as the likeliest contenders. To win, a candidate needs more than 50% of overall votes. If no candidate collects more than 50%, the 2 best-placed candidates face off in the second round, and the winner is the one who secures an absolute majority. The handover of power will take place at the latest on the 13th May 2022. The president-elect appoints a government immediately after the election. In general, legislative elections are held in the weeks following the presidential election. This year, they will take place in June and will aim to elect 577 deputies. If the president gets a majority of deputies, then he or she will have extensive powers and will effectively run the government, which is why many consider France to have a semi-presidential system. But if the newly elected president does not manage to have an absolute majority in the Assemblée Nationale, then there's a cohabitation, and the president will have to deal with a majority and a government that is not entirely in his or her favor, bringing the institutional functioning of France closer to a classical parliamentary regime. This setting has occurred 3 times since the Fifth Republic existed, and the last one was between 1997 and 2002. There is no doubt that this election is historic, and its outcome will have consequences for the future of both France and Europe. So keep posted on EURACTIV and EURACTIV France.